Good morning, afternoon, evening, whatever it is. I'm Dr. Chase Cunningham, Dr. Zero Trust. If you want to be, I don't know, cool or something. I don't know why I keep saying that. But anyway, I'm Chase Cunningham. I do this Dr. Zero Trust thing. I'm reporting here for Cybersecurity HQ. First things first, let's do an unboxing of the Flipper Zero. Now, just got mine, took a little while. They're on back order. Super cool thing. I will be traveling with this, and I've put it into my little red team kit that I carry with me, which has got things like lock picks and keysies and other stuff, Wi-Fi pineapples. So if I'm, in your city, I'll probably be trying to cause some chaos. But we're trying to fix problems. But we got to identify those problems first. So here's the box. Comes with, these things. Kind of cool. And really, it's not very impressive, to be perfectly honest. When you open it, it's pretty much just this. You've got a little charging cable and your Flipper Zero, and that's it. Now, I will say the cool thing is that there is a iOS and Android app for this. So if you're looking around and you want to learn more about red teaming and pen testing and all the cool fun things you can do with wireless systems, go check that out. And there's an app. You don't have to be a computer scientist to use these things. So I'm a big fan of Flipper Zero. I would say it's worth your time to look. Now, let's get into the things you need to know this week in cybersecurity. So number one, there is an article published in AFCEA that's talking about that there is a cultural shift necessary to get to zero trust. Sure, this makes sense. But one culture thing that you should ask is, if everyone else has failed in the other approach, what cultural argument does your organization have not to move to a new approach to the problem? You wouldn't accept this if it was sales. If salespeople said this doesn't work, you would find a new way to do it. So why not in security? There's a great article in CIO magazine that talks about why ZT must extend to the public cloud. Super cool stuff. Totally agree. If you're not doing zero trust the right way, you're going to have problems with it in the cloud too, though. So be aware of that. There is a breach for Henry Schein. Customer data was breached in a cyber incident, and this affected actually the lowering of its sales and earnings forecasts, which took distribution systems offline. So this is pretty substantial when you're talking about the impact that is applied to an organization. If you're lowering earnings, substantial. There's also an article in Reuters, however you say it. I'm pretty sure it's Reuters. China proposes cybersecurity check for auditors if national security is involved. This is a really strange thing. If you would go read through it, it's just kind of a publication, because obviously China's going to do those things. But it's also interesting to see that they're openly admitting that they're going to do additional auditing and inspection on organizations that do business in China. You're seeing a lot of digital saber rattling, I would say. There's an article on dark reading. Leaky DICOM medical standards exposes millions of patient records. Yeah. An updated protocol for medical devices has exposed reams of highly personal data thanks to a lack of proper security throughout owner environments. 60 million people's personal medical information may have been exposed, which means were, during the past few decades due to the use of a legacy protocol of medical equipment. And this is about the DICOM, DICOM protocol, which is an internationally recognized standard for medical imaging transfers. This is where all your radiology, cardiology, imaging, radiotherapy settings and things are transmitted. If the organization did this research, found that users of this protocol often do not use security standards or controls, which means they're basically transmitting this stuff in plain text across systems. There were more than 3,800 servers found using this protocol globally that were accessible on the internet. 30% of those 3,800 were leaking sensitive data. So, yikes! If you're, someone that's had radiology done or you've had medical imaging, I would consider yourself probably in this compromised group, and it's not something that you would be thrilled about, to be perfectly frank. I'm not. There's also an article that is up on the National Cybersecurity Center. This is from the UK NCSC government, and it basically is their annual review. And if you go read through this, it gives you some really interesting trends about what's going on. The long and short of it is it's not good. This doesn't indicate that things are going in a positive direction. And if you take US, NCSC, Australia, and combine all those things together and kind of collate the data, you get the understanding that things are trending in the opposite of the direction that we would like them to trend, which is not cool either. Lastly, Australia ports operator suffers cybersecurity incidents, and the incident means compromise. They suspended operations. This is as of the 11th. Australian government said on Saturday it was coordinating a response to cybersecurity incident that forced port operators DP World Australia to suspend operations in states. They were working around the clock to restore normal operations safely after the breach was detected on Friday. Operates 4 container terminals in Australia, Melbourne, Sydney, Brisbane, and Western Australia's Fremantle. 7,000 people and ports in 18 different locations. So this is substantial. This is ports, I would think, should be considered critical infrastructure because that's a huge logistics deal. Essentially, you're talking about all of Australia, which is a giant island, being shut down because of a ransomware incident. I'll be traveling, doing speeches in Chicago and Austin very soon, which also, if you're in the cybersecurity space and you're not aware of this cybersecurity marketing con that's going on in Austin, look it up, get down there. It's going to be a really good event. There's also a ZT big event being hosted starting today by the Cloud Security Alliance. Go look that up and attend if you can. Anyway, as always, stay smart, stay safe, stay secure. I'm Chase Cunningham. I'm wearing clothes other than the one hoodie that I own. I'll see you guys around, and thanks for your time.